It's all right. Not the best Matrix, not the worst. It's okay. If you're a fan of the Matrix films at all, you should watch this movie. It's a good continuation of the story, just with a lot of disappointing aspects to it. All right, review over for all of you that just left. For the rest of you, let's get into it. The most disappointing part about this movie, to me, is Neo himself. I love Keanu Reeves, but this isn't the I know Kung Fu Neo. This is like the Force Master Jedi Neo that just basically waves his hand around everywhere. It's cool, but it's not what the Matrix is. The reason why I fell in love with the first Matrix movie and really facilitated my love for all things Matrix since then was there was such an energy about it. There was such a kinetic force behind everything, especially behind Neo. You got Keanu Reeves with the woes and the all that kind of stuff, and gotta save Morpheus and his relationship with Trinity and all that stuff was great. But when it came down to it, the combat, the action, the Matrix moves, the style of the clothes and the smoothness of everybody, there was an energy, there was a vibe that this movie projected. Resurrections tries to resurrect that, but it's less. Quick little trivia fact: did you guys know it sounds like Lawrence Fishburne wasn't the deciding factor for him not being in this movie? It sounds like it was actually the Wachowskis. I'm curious why. Maybe it's because he's older, but I don't buy it. They could have done something. They do a good job of explaining Morpheus's absence in this film. They do. In Yahya Mateen or Abdul Mateen II, he's fantastic, really is. But I miss me some Larry Fishburne, you know. All right, so what's the story about? Well, Neo apparently might be back in the Matrix. It gets weirder. In this version, he apparently is a video game developer. He's creating his own Matrix. Think about the meta in that. And in his own meta, has a lot of the same kind of characters, including Agent Smith, but in a different form. Uh, I don't know if I should ruin that part or not, but I'll just say it's kind of a weird mind f of a situation going on. The beginning of the film is actually quite good. You got Neil Patrick Harris being his therapist, basically trying to tell him that he needs to keep taking his medication because he keeps thinking about the Matrix. He keeps thinking about all these events that happen, but for him, it's like a dream. It's like he's going through a psychotic episode of sorts. Meanwhile, they do have Trinity in here too, Carrie Ann Moss, and she plays just like this normal boring housewife that goes gets coffee at the same coffee shop every day, and he sees her there, him being a game developer and her being like this boring housewife, and they meet each other and they see each other and there's like this chemistry there, but they can't quite explain it. That's really good too. The Neo Trinity relationship, it's weird how well their chemistry works together. I kind of vomit at the level of love these people feel for each other in the previous movies, but in this one, seeing these people not know each other but know each other, it's nice. It really feels good, and their familiarity and their chemistry from the previous movies gets right into it in this one. That's great too. Is there Agent Smith in this movie? Uh I'll put it to you like this: Hugo Weaving is not in this movie. Another sad part. I'll say that. Did you guys know they had to pay the San Francisco Police Department $420,000 to shoot there? That's because of all the damages and whatnot that occurred while making the film happen. Apparently, the same was the case for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, and Shang-Chi, The Legend of the Ten Rings. That's a lot of money. They do have a bunch of new characters here too. Most notably, we Jessica Henwick's Bugs. She basically plays a new captain of a new kind of a Matrix ship. Without ruining too much here, I'll just say she might be a helpful ally along the way, kind of a thing. Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He plays the new Morpheus. They do explain it actually quite well. I'll get into that in a few moments too. But he's very good too, and she's also very good. They bring back a bunch of old characters in here. I won't ruin all the surprises, but you do get to see the Merovingian, which is pretty cool. It's interesting how they bring them back. Overall, it's a pretty movie. It's a cool movie. It's a lot of cool familiarity. The action's cool in ways. With the new characters especially, it's pretty nice. With Carrie Ann Moss's Trinity, it's really nice. She's really good here. Matter of fact, where they go with her part of the story is, I would see another Matrix movie because of what they do with her character and what they do with Neo's character. It's not the same though. It's not the same kind of energy going on, but the direction they go feels like new territory, and I am curious to explore it with them. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. If you have, let me know what you think. I'm gonna get into some spoiler overtime for anybody who's left in here. New Morpheus. I want to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it for a few moments. He's basically a digital program. He's like an amalgamation between, I believe, Morpheus and Agent Smith. It's kind of a weird, yeah, it's kind of weird. What's interesting is in this version of the movie, he kind of gets woken up by Jessica Henwick's character Bugs. So he's a good guy. He's like a, it's weird. It's like he's an agent, but he's also like on their side. It's the simplest way to put it. And the way they do the evolution of such things, there's such a sense of, there's more of a relationship between humans and machines and humans and programs. There's a next level experience between these characters that they didn't have in the other movies. It feels like a natural progression in this new civilization that we now see. It's fascinating. It's very interesting, seeing that the machines and humans work together. It's like this civil war between machines going on, without spoiling too much. I think that's really cool. Very cool, actually. That's another aspect I would want to explore more. Getting into more spoilers. As you might have guessed, Neo is put back into the Matrix. If you remember from the last movie, he and Trinity are supposed to be dead. That's what it looked like. In this one, they explain how they are resurrected and put back in here. I won't ruin that yet. I'll talk about it in a later video, I think. But it's explained actually pretty well. I'd say, as far as like how that happened. The why is a little weird though. Neil Patrick Harris is very good in this film. Actually, his role here. I won't say too much. I'll just say his role is thoroughly interesting, to say the least. I really actually appreciated his role in the film, and he's another thing that kind of makes this movie work. Again, the biggest downfall is Neo himself. The rest of it actually kind of works okay. And of course, they bring back Agent Smith, but they do it in a different way. I'm on the fence about it. I like. One more spoiler here if you're still here. I like the new actor that plays Agent Smith, and I like his execution of the role. It's really interesting. Again, another interesting idea here, but it just feels not the same. It's not the same. I almost feel like they shouldn't have done this movie. Did you know the code name for this movie was Project Ice Cream? Okay, last bit of trivia note there. Yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts about this. Let me know if you hear any more spoilers. I have a deeper conversation about this. I love The Matrix that much. I could talk about it for hours. So let's get into it and have a good weekend.